So I recently saw the Barbie movie, and the movie is filled with references to actual Barbie dolls, which I was really happy about. So this is just gonna be my video where I talk about all the references to Barbies in the Barbie movie. Now obviously this is not comprehensive. When the movie comes out on DVD, I will obviously be pausing it and I'll do a way more in-depth video where I'll see every single thing. This is just what I can remember from the theater. First, obviously we're gonna start with this lovely girl right here. So this is the first doll we see referenced in the movie. Margot Robbie portrays in the intro the #1 ponytail. This is an original, it is not a reproduction. Now obviously this is not a #1. A #1, they look slightly different, they have paler skin and their faces are different, and also they're very, very expensive. This is probably a number, I don't know, maybe 4, maybe 6. So here's the thing about these dolls some people don't know. Well, when Barbie first started, it was a little different. So they made these ponytail Barbies, and they made Kens, and they made bubble cuts, and they made them for a number of years, exactly like this, slight changes over the years. And you would get it, and it would be wearing a bathing suit, and then you would buy all the little outfits separately. So that is what that is. So there isn't it's not as if Barbie came out with the ponytail and then, she came out one time. Some people think that they made the ponytail Barbie for many years, and that is her right here in this swimsuit. Oh yeah, and I wanted to mention this because I know people are gonna ask me where do you get your Barbies? All of my Barbies are either from my childhood, or they're thrifted, or they're from garage sales. I do not pay high prices for my Barbies. The next thing that happened in the movie was there was this big montage, and they showed all these dolls, and I'm sure when I pause it, I'll be able to actually see all of them. This is just the ones I can remember. Peaches and Cream, that is what she looks like. This doll is from, I believe the mid-80s. She's one of the most iconic Barbie dolls, and they recreated her dress, I thought, pretty well in the movie. I thought they did a pretty good job with Peaches and Cream. I wish I could get better angles on these dolls. It's not always super easy to film these, but there she is, Peaches and Cream Barbie. The next doll I remember seeing in that big montage was her gold medal Barbie. This doll is from the 70s, early 70s, and you might notice that she's actually the exact same doll as Malibu Barbie. There were a bunch of Olympic themed and also just sports in general dolls that came out during this time, and they are all the exact same doll as Malibu Barbie. Yeah, tell me if you remembered seeing her. I noticed her right away in the movie. The next doll you guys probably remember being referenced in the movie was Alan, played by Michael Cera. He had a bit of a significant role in the movie. So yeah, that is him in his original outfit, which they recreated. I thought they recreated it really well in the movie. One thing I thought was a little weird is that Alan is such a specific reference. You would really have to know Barbie to get the Alan reference. They even reference at one point the writing that was on his box, which was he's Ken's buddy, he can share his clothes. Michael Cera says that at one point in the movie. So for them to reference Alan and to expect people to know who Alan is but not know who Midge is a little weird, and I'll tell you what I mean about that. So they referenced also Midge. So this is Midge here. This is the original Midge. She was Alan's girlfriend. She was Barbie. Ooh, her hair's a little messed up. She was Barbie's first best friend. And in the movie, the Midge they referenced was this Midge here, Happy Family Midge, the pregnant Midge. She came out in the 2000s. And as part of the Happy Family line. But the movie sort of made it sound like this was, you know, like as if Midge was like this one-off doll who appeared one time, you know, pregnant, and then that's it. And that is obviously not the case. Midge has appeared many times throughout Barbie's history. She appeared all the way back in the 60s here, and like I said, she was Alan's girlfriend. They also at one point in the movie say like, oh, there were no multiples of Alan. Again, not true. There were lots of versions of Alan. In fact, in the 80s, Midge and Alan actually got married, and there was a big gift set with their wedding, and there were like all these fashion packs for their wedding and their honeymoon. It was really cute. Here's another version of Midge from the 90s. Midge has been around a long time, and even after this pregnant Midge doll, the Happy Family line continued for a very long time. She was married to Alan in that line, by the way. They had, I think, 3 kids altogether, and yeah, so it wasn't as if Midge was like pulled off the shelves after being pregnant, and it wasn't as if Midge only ever appeared as a pregnant doll. She was pretty consistent Barbie friend, and I love her. She's very cute. As you can see, all 3 of these dolls are very, very cute. Another doll that was referenced in the movie that was a pretty major character was President Barbie, and I believe President Barbie was a reference to the first time Barbie ran for president. Barbie ran for president a number of times, but the first doll that came out, she was wearing like this big, really fancy sort of ball gown. She did come with a suit as well, but she was packaged in the ball gown, and the Barbie president in the movie, of course, has like a fancy dress and a sash that says president, so I do believe it's a reference to that doll, although it's not a one-to-one recreation. And again, like I said, there were lots of different President Barbies. Another doll that was referenced was Astronaut Barbie. So the first Astronaut Barbie that was referenced was the 1980s pink astronaut. In Barbie Land, it zooms out and we see space and some pink astronauts working on, I think, like a little satellite or something. I don't really remember. But I do remember that the outfits were recreated very well. Another outfit that was recreated very well was this one. This is the original 1960s astronaut outfit. This is a reproduction. This is not the original. The helmet is so hard. So I'll just show the outfit here. When Barbie and Ken are going to the real world, they wear these outfits, and as you can see, again, they did a really good job recreating this outfit. Another thing I noticed they recreated during the whole little traveling to the real world thing was a camping set from, I believe, the 70s. I'll show a picture of it on screen. Okay, another doll that was referenced was Skipper. Babysitting Skipper. So this is the scene where Will Ferrell's character is talking about, like, he says, okay, so they've just been told that there's a Barbie in the real world, and he says they've seen this once before when a girl named Skipper showed up at someone's doorstep asking to babysit, which is of course a reference to Babysitting Skipper. And they showed this Babysitting Skipper at the end of the movie. Skipper has been a babysitter a few times. This one, she's supposed to have a 3rd baby. And also, this is not her outfit. This is a Skipper fashion pack. But this is the Babysitting Skipper doll. As you can see, she's really, really cute. I'll show the back of her hair. Really, really. And the babies, yeah, the babies from this Babysitting Skipper have this really long hair. Yeah, I think you're supposed to style it. But anyways, there she is, babysitting Skipper. Super cute. I have a lot of Skippers. I might do like a history of Skipper video on my second channel. I think that might be a good idea. What do you guys think? Okay, next thing I want to talk about is on the Barbie Land Mount Rushmore, Kira and Teresa. And that is one thing I wish the Barbie movie had maybe been a little more, you know, had maybe incorporated Barbie characters a little more. They only reference a few, and most of the characters, of course, are just Barbies and Kens, but Barbie actually had a lot of different characters throughout most of her history, and they reference two of the most prominent ones in the 80s to the 2000s, which were Kira here and Teresa. This is Butterfly Art Kira, and this is Glitter Beach Teresa. And like I said, they were around for a long time. In 1999, Barbie got a brand new face mold that was a little bit more realistic, and so did her friends. So I'll just show you what her friends looked like 1999 to about 2009-ish. So that is the more newer, more realistic Teresa, and this is the newer, slightly more realistic Kira face. So you can see with Kira, it's not too much of a difference there. Actually, I think I messed up, and I think I'm actually, now that I look at it, I think the Butterfly Art Kira is not actually the original Kira face mold. Hang on one second. But that was the original Kira face mold. It's actually this one. Her and her are the newer Kira and Teresa. Sorry, I messed that up a little. The other face that was shown on the Mount Rushmore was Christy, and I actually, surprisingly enough, don't have a Christy. I had a few when I was growing up, but I think they're all broken. None of them survived, but Christy was also a Barbie friend. She was introduced in the 1960s with the Talking Christy, which was also featured at the end of the movie. Okay, now I want to talk about the scene in the movie that had all of the controversial Barbies that were at Weird Barbie's house, one of my favorite scenes in the movie. So the first one was the iconic growing up Skipper. There she is. You might remember her from the movie. In the movie, she had her little wrap skirt. She had a convertible outfit and a convertible body. You might remember that from the movie. Yeah, see, there she grows. And yeah. So that is growing up Skipper. I loved that they referenced her in the movie. I thought that was one of the best Barbie references in the entire movie. I recognized her right away just from the material on the skirt. It was really great. So in that same scene, there were a couple of other dolls referenced, including Teen Talk Barbie, who I also recognized right away. I thought they recreated her outfit really well. So there's her weird little jacket with the see-through sleeve, and show you her a little bit better. There's her outfit. So I also have one in the box. There she is with her hat. Okay, so Teen Talk Barbie, let's talk about her. You might know her from the Simpsons episode, Lisa versus Malibu Stacy. So this doll was controversial because these dolls talked, and the idea behind these dolls was that you would buy one. There was a bunch of different ones. Okay, I'm gonna show here. There were a bunch of different dolls, different hair colors, different outfits. they were all different, and they all said different things. So the idea was, if you had a doll and your friend had one, and your cousin had one, whatever, you were all playing with them, none of them would say the same things.
Every teen's on Barbie is a different surprise.
Mine says, wanna have a pizza party? Mine says, you're my best friend.
And they didn't want any of them to say all of the same phrases. One of these many, many, many phrases was, math class is tough, which was later misreported by media outlets as math is hard. And that is why she was controversial. And how many Teen Talk dolls actually said math class is tough? Like less than 1%, I believe. But anyway, let's just show off this girl and we'll see what she says.
New school clothes are hot. It's so much fun to shop with you. Let's have a dance contest. Ken's such a dream.
Yeah, so that's what mine says. But yeah, I absolutely loved seeing her in the movie. I thought they recreated her outfit so well. They didn't even have her say a single line in the whole film, which was a bit of a disappointment. She was sort of just a background reference. Earring Magic Ken was also referenced in the scene. So Earring Magic Ken was part of the Earring Magic line. And he was controversial because basically people thought that he looked gay, basically is what the controversy was. He had an earring on one ear, and he had a necklace, which the other female versions of the dolls had on a little belt, and his was a necklace, and it had a little ring, and it was to clip the earrings together. Basically, the gimmick of the doll was that, like, all these earrings, you clip all these earrings together and they, like, all hang off each other or something. And they had a little ring that was the tool to do it. And his was on a necklace. And people complained that it looked like something else. And so that is his controversy. Although in the movie, they didn't even have the ring necklace. They had a necklace that said Ken or Barbie or something, and I was like, you kind of missed the whole thing about why he was controversial. They also showed Sugar Daddy Ken, and this one I had to look up. They sort of explain it in the movie, like, oh, I'm not a sugar daddy, this is my dog Sugar, and I'm its daddy. Sugar Daddy Ken was not even like a main Barbie release. It was sort of a older version. There were older versions of Ken and Barbie exclusively for adult collectors. I think it was only online that it was released as well. So if it was in fact controversial, I've never heard about it. I think maybe it was just one that it was kind of funny, so they included it. In Weird Barbie's house, we also see Tanner, the dog. And Tanner was Barbie's dog in a bunch of sets, but this is, of course, a reference to probably the most infamous version of Tanner, which was a version that could eat and poop. And it ate these little brown pellets, and then it pooped out those very same pellets and ate them again. That is actually not why Tanner was controversial, though. Tanner was recalled because the magnet in the little pooper scooper could become loose and it was like a choking hazard. Still remembered for being very strange that the dog, it eats its own poop. What can you do? The other doll we see is Video Girl Barbie. And the movie just kind of references it like, oh, it's weird, she has like a TV on her back, which, don't get me wrong, it is weird. Again, that's not the reason Video Girl Barbie was controversial. It's actually kind of... Okay, so basically, Video Girl Barbie is a doll that could record small video clips. And the FBI put out a memo, which was basically just saying like, hey, if you guys are searching a crime scene, just keep in mind that there are these Barbie dolls, they record videos, so you should check those as well if you see them, because there could be evidence on there. just basically saying like, hey, you probably wouldn't normally think to check a doll, but these ones record video, so like, you know, don't overlook that, is basically all they were saying. And parents totally freaked out, just absolutely terrified of this doll, that it could be used for nefarious purposes. There's no reports of any crime of any kind ever being recorded on any of the Video Girl Barbies. Regardless, it sort of just stuck. Okay, the next doll I want to talk about is the Winter Sports Barbie and Ken. This is not Barbie, obviously. This is her friend Midge. This is the Winter Sports Midge. She will be filling in for Barbie today. She's wearing Barbie's outfit. I don't have the Winter Sports Midge outfit. I have the Barbie outfit, and Midge is wearing it today. So, if you look at the pattern on this outfit, you may notice that this was, I believe, definitely the inspiration for Barbie and Ken's roller skating outfits in the movie. As you can see though, the Ken, he has a different pattern, but I definitely think this was the inspiration for the roller skating outfits. At the end of the movie, they had a really cute little montage with a bunch of different dolls that they referenced, and one of them that they referenced was not in the movie, but she did get a reference at the end, and that was Stacy. And this is not the original Stacy. This is Bicycling Stacy. There she is. She's on her little bike. I loved Stacy. When I was a kid, I had a bunch of Stacys. And she was one of Barbie's little sisters that they introduced in the 90s. And they made tons of different Stacy dolls. And they had made Skipper a teenager by then, so Stacy was sort of her like kid sister, and then she also had Kelly, who was like a baby slash toddler sister, and then later they introduced Chrissy, who was an actual baby, and then they renamed Kelly Chelsea for some reason. I don't know why they did that, but anyways, here she is. So that is my video on every Barbie referenced in the Barbie movie. Let me know which ones you noticed, and I will see you all next time.